affecting the people in the region is its religious traditions. The culture in the United Arab Emirates is deeply seated with the Islamic faith and has effects in all aspects of life, including architecture, dress, and actually the cornerstone for most of their governance and religious beliefs for almost 1,300 years. In terms of the business practice within the United Arab Emirates, a lot of their business practice actually stem from their religious beliefs. And also status key, as in was actually seen in its previous history with its sheikdoms, there was a hierarchy. So status is of the utmost importance, and demonstrating respect is crucial. Introductions, no matter whatever the business setting, start with the most senior important person in the room and end with the least important. But no one person is actually excluded from introductions. Handshakes should not be taken lightly, not freely given to everyone. As a Westerner actually negotiating business practices in the country, always basing themselves in terms of extending hands based on the people who actually they encounter. They should wait to see if somebody holds out their hand in order to shake before they initiate shaking with another person. In particular, this is actually important with women. Women determine if a man will shake their hand or not. If a woman does not extend their hand out, a man should not actually reach and expect a woman to return the handshake. One of the big constructs that we actually here in the United States actually refer to a lot is business is not personal. It's only business. It's not a demeanor upon one's belief in another individual or how one person holds another individual. This does not apply in the United Arab Emirates, for they feel business is personal. Business revolves around relationships and friends and family. First meetings are all about building relationships and trust. In order to engage in business, you first have to engage in friendly conversation, and business will come second. Age, money, and family connections are all key factors in determining a person's status. Who you are is more important than what you've done. And this is what some people actually feel to hold true in America as well. It doesn't necessarily mean what you know, it's more than who you know to actually get a lot of the business practices done in the United Arab Emirates. In terms of the meetings themselves, punctuality is expected of Westerners, but not of locals. Westerners are always expected to be there on time, or if not early, where locals can actually stroll into meetings upwards to an hour late and still be commonplace. Meetings are actually somewhat considered informal parties. Hospitality is highly regarded. Coffees, pastries are at minimal offers at meetings, and to refuse one's hospitality is considered offensive. You should accept beverages offered to you and compliment a person on their spread in terms of whatever food or beverages they provide you, no matter whether or not you like them or not. Also, due to their strong Muslim population, Muslims follow the doctrine of the Quran, which forbids the consumption of alcohol, pork, or shellfish, regardless of setting. And needless to say, you should avoid these on your table spreads when conducting business. The meetings themselves are chaotic. Interruptions are constant and are expected and accepted. People may walk in, walk out, and be completely disruptive to the business process, but these are actually considered normal occurrences in their business. And also the people of the region are excellent negotiators, and haggling is prevalent and actually expected in terms of any negotiation. In terms of the religious effect on business practices, the work week is actually Sunday through Thursday, unlike here in America where it's Monday through Friday. There are breaks 5 times per day per prayer. And if you are Muslim, you are expected to go to prayer and actually excused from work. These prayer meetings actually consist at dawn, at midday, mid-afternoon, sunset, and an hour after sunset. And fatalism is actually a strong sense in one's fatalism, meaning everyone believes in God, and thus the whole world depends on God, including business. So thus, in order to respect God, you must put business second and actually use your own beliefs in your business practices. In terms of verbal and nonverbal communication in the United Arab Emirates, it is impolite to ever show the bottom of one's soul. This is a sign of great disrespect. Never, ever cross your legs or actually raise your feet at a business meeting. As a general rule, even touching one's foot and then touching somebody else is considered rule. And there is strong vocal emphasis within the culture. Raising voice and having vivid body expression is commonplace to enforce important points in your conversation. In terms of public display of affection is actually forbidden. No kissing, hugging, or flirtatious touching with even loved ones. And to greet a person with the utmost respect after shaking hands, you had actually place your right hand over your heart, actually demonstrating them that you have the utmost respect for them. People of the same gender, including males to males, will actually stand very close to one another when conversating. Unlike in the United States, where we consider our areas of personal boundary and we actually have some separation in normal conversation, being really close to one another is actually commonplace and is actually a demonstration of your compassion and relationship with another person. And one of the other major nonverbal cues in terms of talking to another person is do not lean against walls or put your hands in your pocket, as portrayed by the businessman on the right. This is actually a sign of great disrespect. Other nonverbal clues is clenching your hands in front of one's stomach, clenching your thumb in your mouth, or actually pointing your fingers with a clenched hand. These are actually showing disrespect and actually can go as harsh as saying that you actually feel people are a liar and you do not like them. In terms of economic influences in the United Arab Emirates, it is the 8th world's largest oil producer, gross domestic product of $377 billion, but only 1/3 of it actually comes from oil revenues. A lot of the other ones that you see here is tourism. It's a beautiful country which actually represents itself well in the tourist community. In terms of other economic influences, the country heavily relies on imports and exports. In fact, every year it exports roughly $368 billion, majority in oil, fish, and dates, to Japan, India, and Iran. But in turn, actually imports about another $275 billion in terms of products from India, China, and the United States themselves, mainly machinery, chemicals, and food. In recent years, though, as I was saying, its diversification in terms of tourism has actually been a major economic factor, but the problem was by overstepping of developments, they had to actually rely on oil revenues to actually bail them out from some of their debt crises that experienced in 2008. One of the final factors that actually is what I talked about originally in terms of Emirates. The country relies heavily on foreign laborers. The government has actually implemented programs to actually get their natural born citizens develop into their business practice, but this came with minimal success. Over the last 10 years of these policies, only 0.3% of private jobs are actually conducted by people from the United Arab Emirates themselves. The current generation of United Arab nationals commonly prefer cushy government jobs or rely rather on benefits from the government instead of going to work. So this brings it apart in terms of the whole my whole need for actually researching this culture. It's because I would like to exert my own economic influence in the region. Due to the need for labor, I will have an avenue to practice my trade of medicine within the culture itself. And now, by understanding the culture, I'll be able to understand the business practice and social interaction within the culture, and by doing so, make my own mark for the future of the United Arab Emirates. This is myself actually pictured in the bottom corner. These are the references for my paper, and I would like to thank you again for listening to my presentation of From the Midwest to the Middle East, a Midwesterner's exploration of the culture of the United Arab Emirates. Thank you very much. My name is Larry Manders. You have a great day.